All right, guys, welcome to the Fantasy Sports Boss Fantasy Cast. Really excited about tonight, this Miami Dolphins Buffalo Bills game. It's been a wild day already, and so much for that forecast. So, not even snowing right now in Buffalo. Of course, that can change at a moment's notice, which I do expect will happen. I was looking at the radar before coming on, and there is some snow building to the west of Buffalo that will probably start falling, I would imagine, sometime during the first half. But if you're a Josh Allen owner, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Stephon Diggs, it's a good sign, at least initially, that the weather doesn't look like it's going to be a factor other than the brutal cold based on the panel here that's calling the game right now. But hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. Going to be here throughout the first half of this game. Going to talk about that unbelievable comeback by the Minnesota Vikings today. I just can't even believe what I saw there. And as I said in the earlier video too, it just goes to show you what happens when you have bad coaching. When you have a coach that just doesn't know what he's doing, like Jeff Saturday, they can't finish a game. And that's exactly what happened with that Indianapolis, Minnesota game. Just absolutely pathetic. Matt Ryan now has been involved in two of the biggest comebacks on the wrong side of two of the biggest comebacks in NFL history. Of course, the moment in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. And then today, it was one of those classic examples when you were watching it, you're saying to yourself, they're going to blow this game. They're going to blow this game. They're going to blow this game. And they just couldn't stop the bleeding. I mean, Matt Ryan completely washed. Nothing worked in the second half. Jonathan Taylor going out early. Just pathetic. It really was. No other word for it. So, I saw before I came on too that Adam Schefter said that the ankle injury that Taylor suffered is not considered serious, but there's a chance he's just going to get shut down. So no need to increase any sort of wear and tear on Taylor, who's been banged up all year. I have him in my one league that has a bye this week. So luckily it didn't hurt me too much. But next week now I'm going to have to put in Zonovan Knight, who, in fairness has been good. I'm going to have to put him in now for Jonathan Taylor. So that hurts me next week. Just unbelievable. But yes, the bigger story now with this game tonight, Miami and Buffalo, you put in the borderline guys, Gabe Davis, and Jalen Waddle. I think you could put those guys back in tonight just because, the weather just doesn't look to be much of an issue. So I think it's safe to put those guys back in there tonight. It was snowing in the Baltimore-Cleveland game, but, nothing too crazy there. And, J.K. Dobbins ran for over 100 yards, didn't score a touchdown. Tyler Huntley was terrible. Mark Andrews, again, it's just not happening. 6+ fantasy points for Mark Andrews. I just don't understand what is going on there. Just pathetic. Gabe or Garrett Wilson from Tim Land. I want to say Gabe Davis now, considering that the weather doesn't look that bad. That Miami, you could throw on them. You could do anything against Miami. This defense is pretty bad. So I would put Gabe Davis in, who I'm really not a fan of, as you guys know. Spoken on that many times. I'm just not a fan of Gabe Davis. But I think now you can put him back in there for sure. Kansas City defense or Washington defense. I would still do Kansas City defense. And that was the other big thing today. Dameon Pierce has now been placed on IR. So a very good, solid rookie season, especially early on the first half of the season, has now been completely derailed for the fantasy playoffs. Has had the ankle injury, unfortunately, and Pierce has now been shut down. Broncos D or Panthers D from Joe Castles. I would probably go Panthers D because, Trubisky is terrible and he's been turning the ball over left and right. So that's who I would go with there. But there's just, and that's the problem you run into with bad teams, that they start shutting players down. And, that's probably what's going to happen now with Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis, as it was with Dameon Pierce in Houston. So Waddle, Bam Knight, or Garrett Wilson. I would go Bam Knight because they're playing the Detroit Lions and they're going to be using him heavily in this game. Started Justin Tucker over Daniel Carlson. Tucker only got me 3 points. Yeah, Justin Tucker missed 2 kicks. It wasn't a good Justin Tucker game for sure. Jonathan Taylor. I mean, hindsight is 2020. Let's face it. But it has been just a laughably bad decision to take him number 1 overall over Justin Jefferson, over Christian McCaffrey. And I'm the guy who every year preaches take a wide receiver in the first round. But I finally, for the first time in this one particular league in 16 years, I got the top pick, and I went Jonathan Taylor. I went against my better judgment. I should have took Justin Jefferson, and it blew up in my face. Luckily, the rest of my team came through, and I have the bye this week. But now next week, I'm going to have to go from Jonathan Taylor down to Zonovan Knight as my flex. And I also have Ramondre Stevenson in that league. He's banged up. I have T. Higgins in that league. He's banged up. So I'm literally limping into the playoffs right now. Who's number one running back in Houston? Nigel, I think they're going to split it with Agunlier and Rex Burkhead. One thing I will say, though, about that game is that they're going to fall behind very early and quickly in that game. So Burkhead will be used heavily in the passing game. So if you play in a PPR league, he could do some fairly good things, and from a PPR perspective. Should I play Mostert over Watson or Kirk tonight? I wouldn't. I like both Kirk and Watson better than Mostert. I know Jeff Wilson is not playing, and there's another guy that's a decent sized loss going into the playoffs. Would Marlon Mack be worth adding? No, I'm tired of Marlon Mack. I'm done with him. I truly believe this is Zach Wilson's redemption game. It could. Listen, they're playing the right team. I mean, the Detroit Lions, the defense is bad. I think Zach Wilson has been humbled, hopefully, and he's going to come out with more focus. But I'm not. It's one of those things where I got to see it to believe it. Tyreek Hill monster game. Yes, he's always got a monster game, and I think now that the weather doesn't look to be a big issue, I think he'll be fine. Rex gets starting role. He finished last year strong. What do you think? He could get the first carry, Joe, but I think he's going to, share carries with Dare Agunlier or however you say his last name. But he will get a lot of receptions because they're going to be playing from behind, like I said, and the game script is going to necessitate a lot of passes. And I do think Jeff Driscoll is going to be heavily involved. JT Burmy, but I started J.K. Dobbins. Start 2 wide receivers, start 1 running back. Rashad White, ETN, Aaron Jones. I'm going to start Aaron Jones. And 2 wideouts, Mike Williams, definitely Mike Williams. And I'm going to go Chris Godwin over T. Higgins. Drop Patriots defense for Kansas. Yeah, I have Kansas City defense for the playoffs. So it's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal there. Goff or Tua. Goff has got 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions on the road this season, Chase. So I think you got to go Tua. As bad as he's been playing lately, Goff does not play well on the road for sure. You're welcome, Casey. Would you play Antonio Gibson rest of season? Not unless I had to. He just doesn't get enough work. And they're really infatuated with Brian Robinson, talking about the Washington Commanders, so they're not going to use Gibson as much. Play B-Rob and Swift over Dobbins. I think I'll still play on my feet. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Dobbins, listen, he ran well, but just like with Nick Chubb, with Dobbins falls into that same classification, if he doesn't score, it's just going to be a mediocre looking outing, which, really, it was a good game, but fantasy wise, not so much because he only caught 1 pass. Waddle, a good play tonight. Yeah, I think so. They're going to have to throw a lot to keep up with this Buffalo offense. So I think so. So as far as this Baltimore game, Tyler Huntley, God, he was bad. 17 of 30, 138 yards a pick. Ran for only 15 yards. I was a Huntley fan coming into the stretch where he started, prior to last week. And, it just wasn't good. And it hasn't been good. And he wasn't able to get Mark Andrews going. So much for the success that they had last season. It didn't carry over. Deshaun Watson, not much better. 18 to 28, 161 and a touchdown. Ran for 22 yards. I think next season, there's 2 things. So Watson's struggles are going to cause his draft price to drop even more next season. And he's going to look very attractive to me because he is a dual threat pass run quarterback. And that's the kind of guy that I want to have on my teams next season. So there's a good buying opportunity with Deshaun Watson next season. So talking about J.K. Dobbins, 13 for 125, 9.6 per carry. It's just like Nick Chubb. He is an electric runner, J.K. Dobbins. He just can't stay healthy, and only 1 catch for 3 yards. He doesn't catch the football. All right, first super chat of the night from Palumsky. My good friend Palumsky, how you doing, pal? Thank you again for the super chat. Saints defense versus Atlanta. Tennessee versus Houston, week 16. I'm going to have to say Tennis Saints defense is a good play if that's what you're asking me about Atlanta. I don't think Desmond Ridder is really going to do a great job. He's getting his first start. He's a rookie. He's got some accuracy issue, Polumsky, so I'm not too keen on him. I would play the Saints defense. They're getting Marshawn Lattimore back probably, so I think that's a good play. Tennessee versus Houston, Week 16, absolutely 100%. To think that they have no Brandon Cooks, no Nico Collins, they're probably not going to play either guy next week. No Dameon Pierce. There's literally nobody left on that offense, so that is a very good streaming defense to play next week, Polumsky. And once again, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate it. Nigel with a super chat as well. Green Bay, and thank you, Nigel. I appreciate that. Green Bay or Dallas defense and Miami kicker or Dallas kicker. I'm going Dallas kicker. A lot of points scored in that game. Probably much better weather situation there as well. And considering, they're outdoors here, definitely better as weather situation. Green Bay, Dallas, I'm going to have to go Green Bay. The Jacksonville Jaguars can score points. And the Dallas defense just kind of got singed by the Houston Texans in a near upset, Nigel. So I'm very leery all of a sudden now about the Dallas defense. But thank you for that super chat. And now Joe Castle's $1.99. Super chat's coming fast and furious. Thank you so much, Joe. McKinnon, Strong, or Rex Burkhead in flex. I'm not going to go McKinnon because they're probably going to run Isaiah Pacheco a lot. They're going to get the quick lead in this game, and they're going to go to a run heavy script with Pacheco. So I'm not going to go with him. Pierre Strong, I'm very intrigued by. Not so much Rex Burkhead. I know he's going to catch a bunch of passes in this game, but I think Strong can help both running and catching the football. So I would go Strong over Burkhead. And again, Joe, thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate that. And again, guys, if I missed your question, just post it again, or just, use the super chat option. It highlights it. And I appreciate all that super chats that you guys gave. Thank you very much. Njoku or Tucker might have just ended my 7-game win streak. Oh man, that's rough. Yeah. Njoku. So I was just going through that box score now. So David Njoku 3 for 28. Yeah, man, that was rough. That's rough. Amari Cooper 4 for 58. Donovan Peoples-Jones got into the end zone 4 for 31. And really, he's been good, Donovan Peoples-Jones. He really has. He's taken the next step this season. But, even Amari Cooper now, he looks more like a high-end wide receiver 3, considering the struggles of Deshaun Watson. And honestly, I really didn't think he was going to struggle this much. Update on injury for JT. Yeah, Nigel, Adam Schefter said it doesn't look to be of serious injury, but the notion of the Colts shutting him down the rest of the way is a strong possibility, because why allow him to get injured again in meaningless games? Demarcus Robinson 6 for 29. Nick Chubb 21 for 99. He didn't score. No catches. So again, Nick Chubb, he's got to get into the end zone. To make hay as a fantasy option. That did not happen. But yeah, just a really boring game, more or less. Pierre Strong or ETN if Ramadre doesn't play full PPR. I mean, I have a feeling ETN's going to have a big game against Dallas. He almost has to. I'm still going to go ETN in that one. I know he's been bad lately, but I'm going to stick with ETN. Judy Smith or Mike Evans. Devontae Smith. Definitely Devontae Smith. He's been really good. He scored, I think, the last 3 games. Worth picking up KJ Osborne for the playoffs. Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, listen, Kevin O'Connell comes from the Sean McVay tree, where they will continually go back to the players that make plays, a la Cooper Kupp with the Rams. KJ Osborne, he was so good today. They can't ignore that going forward. So I definitely would pick him up. Started Watson, which was rough. Opponent has Josh Allen. How much do you think Allen has? Oh man, Jeff, and this is my nightmare. So here's my situation tonight. My other league that I squeaked into the playoffs. I'm right now in a not such a great spot. So my opponent got 25 from George Kittle on Thursday, and then he got 13.8 from J.K. Dobbins. So right now I'm slated to lose 130 to 124. And he's got Josh Allen tonight. Josh Allen's projection is 27. I really was hoping it would be snowing. There's no wind. I'm in big trouble. I really am. The rest of his team, he's got Christian Kirk going tomorrow, Hollywood Brown, DJ Moore. So, I mean, DJ Moore and Hollywood Brown don't look like great options. He's got Najee Harris and Joe Mixon. I have Justin Fields because Lamar's still out. CeeDee Lamb, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Watson in my wideouts. Tony Pollard, Rashad White, and Aaron Jones in my running backs. Jones is in the flex, and Dalton Schultz is my tight end. So I think I have the better skill position players, but his guys are balling out right now. So I'm in a bad spot. I'm just hoping that Josh Allen just doesn't go nuclear. I'm fingers crossed, but I have a feeling it's not going to be good. So my opponent is starting McKinnon in the flex. I don't think that's a great move. I really don't. I know everybody's going to be a little excited about what he did last week, but I'm not going back to the well on that. I think that's like a once every like 8 games or so for McKinnon. Well, he'll do something like that. Yeah, they really did do a great job clearing the field. I mean, there was a lot of snow. They got pounded. I think they got some between 10 and 15 inches there, and the field looks great. And it looks like all hands on deck now for this game. Let me look at the radar. I'm just curious where that snow band is setting up. So I just lost JT rest of the season potentially. Yeah, probably replace him in the lineup with Rashad White, Robinson. Luckily, I have them as pivot. Yeah, listen, I like both of those guys, especially Brian Robinson, who I'm going to be very heavy on next season. With the weather being decent, do I switch out Judy for Waddle? You could, Jeff. Yeah, I think you could do that. There's going to be a lot of passing by Miami to keep up with the Buffalo offense, so I would do that. Brian Robinson over Foreman? Yes, definitely. Giants defense is being shredded on a weekly basis. I've seen that up close here in New York, Chris, so I would put him in there. McKinnon doesn't – no, Casey, he's not going to look as good, McKinnon, this week. Do I switch Bass back in? Yeah, you could. There's no win, Carlito, so I would. Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts tonight? I'm saying Allen because I think the Eagles, again, are going to just go crazy on Chicago, be up big, and he may not even finish the game, Jalen Hurts. Mark Andrews, disaster again. Yeah, no doubt about it, L. Dot. That was just bad. Definitely not drafting him next season. I wouldn't say that. I actually am interested in Andrews. I think he's hurt. And Lamar Jackson being out is a big problem. Next season, if this drops Mark Andrews' draft price, which I think it will, to the 4th round area code or even late 3rd, I think I'm in on that. I've already told you guys I'm going wide receiver 1st round. I don't care who it is between Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. I'm getting one of those guys. 2nd round, Brian Robinson, Ramondre Stevenson. 3rd round, another wide receiver. 4th round, dual threat quarterback. That's how I'm playing it. Should you start Waddle, Gibson, or Swift for flex? I guess I would start Waddle. Jets defense is tough for Swift. I wouldn't do that. Garrett Wilson's a no-go for this week. Yeah, until we see Zach Wilson even do something remotely positive, I don't think you could put in Garrett Wilson. Dobbins is actually looking very good. He's explosive, just doesn't have the distance speed. Yeah, Jeff, and he doesn't catch the football. I don't, if you're in a PPR league like I am in both of my leagues, I just don't want guys like that because it's a lot of pressure to make sure that they score. He ran for over 100 yards and he only got 13.8 points, in a PPR league. That's not great. To me, the line of demarcation among running backs and receivers is over 15 points to consider it a good day. You know what I mean? Okay, where am I at here? Gabe Davis, Watson, or Garrett Wilson? Sit one. Garrett Wilson. Pacheco, Burkhead, or Patterson? Who should I start in case Stevenson doesn't play? Oh, Burkhead, because it's a positive game script to Josh, definitely. They're going to be up big on that one. They're going to run a lot of Pacheco. I think he's going to get 20 carries. Thoughts on Chris Moore, Nico Collins, and Brandon Cooks both being out? Would you start him in flex or Pierre Strong? I guess Chris Moore. They're going to, he was good last week. I guess I would go Chris Moore because we still don't know what Pierre Strong is. At least we've seen Chris Moore do something. Is it currently snowing in Buffalo? It's not snowing in Buffalo. It is definitely not snowing in Buffalo, which I'm shocked at. Let me look at this. I want to look at their radar now because last time I looked, it looked like it was starting to build up. All right, Nigel with another super chat. Thank you, Nigel. I really appreciate that. Driscoll at tight end or Freiermuth? I would go Driscoll. The Panthers are going to run the ball a million times and really eat the clock. And I think Driscoll, he was in on almost every snap in the red zone last week, and he's throwing the football, he's catching it, he's running it. So basically another Taysom Hill, Nigel. I think you got to go with him. Going early round quarterback and pick up Jalen Hurts for 30. Yeah, listen, Casey, no doubt about it. All right, so here's the thing. This is the Buffalo forecast right now, lake effect snow warning. And it says this is the minutecast right this minute for Buffalo. According to AccuWeather, snow heavy at times for at least 60 minutes. So where is it? You know what I mean? That's right now, according to AccuWeather. So I'm going to zoom in. Oh yeah. So there is a line coming. All right, it's going to start snowing like within the next 20 minutes. If you guys go to AccuWeather and you check out, you punch in Buffalo, you'll see that there is a really big line that goes all the way back, from for quite a ways with a lot of heavy snow. It's going to start snowing momentarily. Even looking at the future cast radar, there is some big squall lines building right now just west of Buffalo. So it's coming. How would you like Diggs tonight? I think he'll be fine, Ed. I really think both of these teams are going to throw it heavily early, knowing that the snow is coming. So that's what I think is going to be the issue tonight. I think they know the snow is coming and they're going to throw it heavily. Ramondre Hurt or ETN? ETN. And I think Ramondre too. The long season is starting to get to him as well, as it has Saquon Barkley, guys who have, or Travis Etienne too, for that matter, guys who haven't played a full season in a long time. It eventually starts showing up in December, fatigue, decreased numbers, and we're seeing that of all those guys I just mentioned. Seems like all the snow went to Cleveland. I didn't expect to snow that much there. Yeah. I'm shocked it's not snowing. Like I said, I'm looking at the radar right now for Buffalo, and it's like right there. With playing T. Higgins this week, I think you have to. I think you have to play T. Higgins. He's too talented not to play him. Why are the Dolphins not using Tyreek Hill more in screens and jet sweeps? Because I think they've been using him fairly well. I mean, the guy's having a huge season, Death Lord. Could they use jet sweeps and stuff tonight? Certainly, and they're going to need him heavily to keep up with Buffalo. Skip me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to skip you. And guys, just keep repeating the questions if I skip. Olave or Kirk, full PPR. I'm going Kirk. I think both Trevor Lawrence and Dak Prescott are throwing 40 passes. Highest over under of the week, I believe, 47.5. Probably jumped up to 48. There's going to be a ton of passes in this game. So definitely fam first. I would go Kirk. Pick 2, Gibson, Montgomery, Rachaad White, or McKinnon. Rachaad White, definitely, and I would go Montgomery. I know Eagles is a tough defense, but I think Gibson and McKinnon just don't get enough snaps. I love Ramondre Stevenson so much early second round. Oh, yeah, I'm totally in on him next year. Bill Belichick loves him. That's all I need to know. Damian Harris is a free agent. He's not coming back. Pierre Strong might get some, reception duty on third downs, but Ramondre Stevenson's the real deal. I think he's just nicked up. Again, fatigue, a long season. I'm totally in on him as a second-round pick next year. And Brian Robinson, if I can get him in the third round, I might skip over the second receiver. Probably not. I'd really like to get 2 receivers in the first 3 rounds, but I really do like Brian Robinson a lot. Got Trevor Lawrence, a QB by, is he a good bet for? Yes, absolutely. He's only questionable in name only. He's going to play. I was more worried about him last week, excuse me. Not for this week. What do you do with Waddle? Palomsky, McKenzie going 561. Yeah, I can see that for sure. And it is snowing now. So look, guys, the snow is starting to fall in Buffalo. What do you do with Waddle? Daniel, tough call. Now that the snow is starting to fall, I say you ride it out. Put him in there. They're going to throw a lot early on. Just do it. You ride and die with your best players. Tyreek Hill yards after the, yeah, he is and that's the thing, with Tyreek Hill, he's the biggest game breaker in football, no doubt about it. All right, so what are we about 15 minutes away? I can't wait for this one. And the snow is now falling. Do you ever check the specific props for games, things like odds a certain player will score? No, I don't, Andrew. I'm not really into the props. I just try to keep it on the fantasy side of things. Do I start Tyler Bass or Greg Zuerlein games? I would throw Bass in there. There's no wind right now, Enzo. Asking was Chisholm is 300 odds to score a TD versus Dylan, minus 71. I don't like AJ Dillon. I don't know who the other person is that you have typed. I don't know if that's a typo. But I don't like AJ Dillon this week. Bijan Robinson be next year as Brees Hall. Yes, Eddie H. He could be. I think he's probably the most. I just finished the wide receivers in my draft guide, so I'm going to be going into the tight ends now. My prospect draft guide is going to be coming out soon, next couple of weeks. So make sure you look for that. Very excited. I think it's good stuff. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But Bijan Robinson is going to be a second round pick in fantasy next season. He almost has to. You started Ayuk. Yeah, Enzo, I told you not to start Ayuk. I didn't care what Debo's not in there. He is a deep threat guy. It doesn't work with Brock Purdy. Snow is starting, Nigel. You're right. Did you say Bijan Robinson will get drafted by Houston? No. He's going to be a top 15 guy, I think. On talent alone, he's a top 5 guy. But we know that teams just don't like to use high picks on running backs. And, Saquon Barkley hasn't really worked out for the Giants as the number 2 pick. So I don't think he's going to go to Houston, no. But top 15 picks, yes, I can see that. Is this must win for the Dolphins? I think the Dolphins, it's a must win more than the Bills. The Dolphins, I think they hit a little bit of a skid lately. Would you play Rachaad White over Stevenson? Yes, I would, because Stevenson's not healthy. How valuable is Christian Watson? Please make me feel nice and cozy inside from Monday. Sat Pittman. Listen, I started Christian Watson DH, so I think he'll be good. And listen, he is the highest scoring wide receiver over the last 4 weeks in standard leagues, I believe, with all those touchdowns. Are you in the playoffs? Yes, I'm in both of my leagues. I'm in the playoffs. I have a bye in one league. Thank God I had Jonathan Taylor in that league that I have a bye this week. So I am on a bye. I'm probably going to play the hottest team in my league next week, the highest scoring team, which sucks. But you know what? You got to beat the better teams. And in my other league to Josh, I'm playing and I'm trailing 38-0 because my opponent had Dobbins, who got 13.8, and George Kittle, who got 25 and change. And he's got Josh Allen tonight. So I'm on the edge of my seat about, Josh Allen's output for tonight. So I gotta watch that for sure. Philly, number 1 overall pick next year. No, he's not the number 1 pick. In fantasy, no. Justin Jefferson will be the number 1 pick. I think he's going to be the guy that gets picked number 1 the most. Brees Hall, we got to watch with the health. I mean, he had the injury a little bit early in the season, so he might start training camp on PUP. But Brees Hall definitely is a late first round, early second round pick. There's no doubt about it. He is the real deal, folks. Philly get Bijan. Yeah, you know what, Daniel? That is a great point. Philly could get Bijan. Absolutely. And they have a lot of draft picks. They could trade up. Excellent point. I'm with you on that one, Daniel. Badgley or Bass? Bass. Tyler Lockett have surgery is saying it's likely season. They said, yeah, but I don't buy that at all. I think he's done. Tyler Lockett. Would you play Brady or Rodgers? No Aaron Donald this week. Already have Aaron Jones and Green Bay D. Oh God. I would go Rodgers. I think I would go Rodgers. Dolphins should draft Bijan Mostert on 1-year deal. Yeah, the Dolphins are another team for sure. I mean, they have some issues at running back as well. Bijan Robinson is just sick. He absolutely is sick. He's very fantasy friendly as well. So Waddle over Etienne Swift and Bam. I like Bam against Detroit. God, I hate to say don't go Waddle and then he goes crazy tonight. I would still go Waddle. I think there's going to be a lot of passing in this game. Hope for the best for you. Shoot. Yeah, you know what, to Josh, I think I have the better team that I'm trailing right now. We just got to say, I think tomorrow I have good matchups. I like my Dallas Cowboy players against Jacksonville. I think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a lot of points. So I think I'm set up pretty good tomorrow. Would you still play Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts with all the snow games about to start? Yes, because it's going to be competitive throughout, whereas Jalen Hurts, I'm not sure he's going to be throwing in the second half because the Bears are pretty rough. Running back that comes back from ACL usually going to perform well following season. Yeah, that's true. That is true, but he's very young, so he's got that going for him. Brees Hall. You're right. Saquon Barkley didn't do that great either. That's a good point. I'm not willing to pay a late first round pick on Brees Hall or early second round pick either. Where do you think Javonte Williams will go? Somebody asked me this yesterday. I think he's going to be he tore the ACL and the MCL. So his was a very, very significant injury. I don't think he's going to be ready for week 1. I say he's like a 5th, 6th round pick. And I think I'm out on him, Javonte Williams. As much as I loved him coming into the season, I'm not going to go with Javonte Williams next season. Even if he comes relatively cheap, I might, if he comes in the 7th round, I'll take a shot. But I think there's just a lot of fear with how bad that injury was. Swapped out Bass for Jake Elliott. Hope I don't regret it. This weather doesn't look as bad as I thought. Yes, but the snow's starting now, Kevin. Should I drop James Cook before the game starts? Just have a spot, maybe Watson Fulzel. I don't think James Cook, he bombed last week. I had him too. I have him glued to my bench. When you say play Cowboy players, does that include Gallup? Yes, I think so. It's all hands on deck. Just like last week, I told you Detroit, Minnesota, all hands on deck. I think Dallas and the Jaguars, it's all hands on deck. My opponent's projected 116. I'm projected 127. 11-point swing, so I definitely need Tyreek. Yes, you do need Tyreek Hill. I've been following your lead for pretty much the second half of regular fantasy season. Been on hot streak for a little bit. Thanks for your help. Yeah, man. Listen, I've had some misses this season for sure, but I feel pretty good about a lot of the suggestions I've made this season. Like last week, Okonkwo, I was proud of that one. Bam Knight, that was my number 1 waiver claim when he first got the job. So I feel like I've had a good read on things this season. Taysom Hill early on that worked out. And Russell Wilson last week, George Kittle this week, I was asked a lot about. I said to play him. So I feel like I've done, fairly well. Wan'Dale Robinson would have been a thing if he didn't get hurt. So what's up, Wes? I played Al Pierce over DJ Chark. Like you said, oh man, I'm sorry. Should say Chark, but should I play Chark over? So there you go. There's a miss right there, guys. Should I play Chark over Gabe Davis tonight? Oh man, I still would go Gabe Davis. Miami's defense is horrible. The Jets have the best cornerback duo in the league, Darry. So, man, I'm sorry about that, Alec Pierce. Michael Pittman had a good day too. Honestly, the Vikings defense is the worst defending the pass in the entire NFL. So on that alone, Alec Pierce was a solid play just on paper alone, but I'm sorry about that, man, but you can't get them all right. Start 2, Bam, Swift, ETN, Pacheco, or Foreman. I'm starting Bam. I'm going to start Pacheco because he's going to get a lot of carries. Who do you think the first 3 running backs drafted in fantasy next year? Christian McCaffrey, definitely. That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm not sure about that one. I'd have to look. Well, definitely Austin Eckler. I think Austin Eckler will be there. I think definitely Christian McCaffrey will be there. Top 3. Who am I missing, guys? Who's the obvious guys? Breece Hall, definitely not. Let me just take a look here. I'm really curious to see what happens with Tony Pollard, definitely. Eckler, Hall, CMC. No, not Hall. He's not going to be a top 3. I'll take him players. Let me see. McCaffrey. Oh, Josh Jacobs, guys. Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs could be top 3 for sure. That would be, those would be my top 3. Eckler, McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs. Trevor Lawrence, sneaky late pick, dual threat. Yes, I said that the other day on the stream. I'm all in on this guy. That offense is going to be sick. Ridley, Kirk, Zay Jones, Ingram, who I think they'll re-sign. Travis Etienne with his legs back under him. I think it's going to be a ridiculously good offense next season. With Ridley, yes, with Ridley. Gabe Davis or Chris Moore. I got to go Gabe Davis. Tough choices, though. Gabe Davis better ball out now. Let me check this radar again. All right, so we're just about ready to start. Been looking forward to this one. I'm on the edge of my seat as somebody who's going against Josh Allen. And, this team I'm playing this week, I absolutely destroyed last week, like humiliated the guy. And I figured, you know what? He's due. Let me pull that up. So the same team I'm playing this week, I figured he was due because I absolutely killed him last week. And I actually killed him earlier in the season too. I'm 2-0 against him. So last week, I beat this guy 119 to 78, and 78 is just a pathetic number. And now this week, he's already got 39 points with two guys down. And he's got 55% chance to win over me. So we'll see what happens with Josh Allen. Let me get to that radar again for Buffalo. Thanks for the Pittman suggestion. Yes, Jonas, I felt good about that one. So I was thinking about you today. You're welcome. 19 fantasy points. You think Rachaad White's a safe play tomorrow? I'm starting with him. So, I think you do that, Kevin. So right now it says in Buffalo, if you look at AccuWeather, it says right now snow heavy at times for 60 minutes. That's what it says. Looking at the radar now. Yeah, there is a very heavy band just west of Buffalo. Let me zoom in on this. I mean, if you put the radar in motion, yeah, I mean it's gonna hit. I mean, there is a lot of heavy snow to the west, and it's just never ending too. It's just this one line that's not moving, coming right off the lake there. What's the Doppler radar say? Yeah, that's what Kevin, it looks pretty dicey. So I think by the middle of the first quarter, it's going to start coming down. Thoughts on Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams? You see both having massive games. Yes, I think they're both going to be big. Jacobs is banged up, but again, Josh McDaniels doesn't care. He's going to run him into the ground. Would you play Barkley or Kamara? Kamara. This is a very ferocious defensive line that the Commanders have, and they're just going to continue to stack the box. So I would go Kamara. No Mark Ingram, and it's a good matchup against the Falcons, who don't stop anybody. All right, so the game's getting ready to start, just about 3 minutes away from kickoff. I'm hoping toss who has a better game, Jacobs or Devontae Adams. I'll say Devontae Adams because I think the defensive line of New England is better than the secondary. It's got to be fun going to these games in Buffalo, man. When the snow's coming down like that, because for them it's like nothing. They, here in where I am in New York on Long Island, everything shuts down when the snow hits. Nobody wants to drive, but up there it's like just a day in the park for them. Gabe Davis or Elijah Moore, definitely Gabe Davis. I want no part of Elijah Moore with Zach Wilson. What are you watching a game on? Well, I have DirecTV if that's what you mean. Is Raheem Mostert a start above Zeke now that Jeff Wilson is out? Full PPR? No, I still would go Zeke. Very high touchdown probability with Zeke every single week. So, and listen, Zeke hasn't been that bad. He really hasn't been, So, he's scoring a lot of touchdowns. He's converting from in close. I think he's been pretty good. Good news, Josh Jacobs is main red zone running back. Josh Jacobs has been phenomenal. He's a fantasy MVP in my opinion, hands down. What is it, an 8:20 start? I thought it was an 8:15 start. Oh, man, look at this lady. She's bundled up, man. It's freezing there. 25 is the last time I checked. Gabe Davis or Tyler Boyd. Gabe Davis. Boy, you talk about waiting to the last minute, huh? Gabe Davis. All right, so snow is falling. And here's the thing, too. When you get these lake effect squalls that come in, you can get 6 inches in an hour. Like you literally can. I've had a friend that went to school in Oswego, and I visited him once. I remember we went to a bar, and there was no snow on the ground, nothing. And we were only there for like 2 hours tops. We came out, there was like 8 inches of snow on the ground. It was crazy. Gabe Davis or Dylan? Gabe Davis. Yeah, it's flurries now, but trust me, it's coming. You're welcome, Young. Patterson strong or White and flex? White. I'm going White. I'm a Rachaad White apologist. So, he's been good. 28 degrees right now. It says rain. What kind of forecast? No way. There is no rain coming. I don't know if that was a typo on the screen there. New subscriber. Oh, thank you, Young. I appreciate that. Yes, you found us a little bit late in the season, but don't worry. All off season, there's going to be daily videos just like there has been during the regular season. Lots of draft coverage as well. What's the over-under on a snowball fight in the stands? Oh, very high. Living upstate New York, lake effect snow is insane. Yes, I'm sure. And we get the nor'easters here on Long Island. Waddle probably wishes for snow because he's a Penguin. Yeah, he's been pretty bad. All right, so Dolphins are getting it back, getting it first. I remember the Giants that one year, years and years and years ago. Anybody that's old enough to remember this, that they didn't adequately clear the snow in the stands, and they were playing, I believe, the San Diego Chargers at the time. And the whole game, the Giant fans were throwing snowballs onto the field, and they actually hit one of the assistant coaches in the back of the head. I guess it was some ice in that snowball that this particular fan threw. The guy went down, had to be taken to the hospital. It was really serious. A lot of people were arrested. They actually went through the newspapers, and people that were photographed throwing snowballs wound up getting summonses and getting charged. I don't know if anybody remembers that story. A full PPR, should I start Waddle or risk Ramondre with Judy Swift or Rashad White as my backup? But yeah, I would put Edward. It's too late. I would have put Waddle in though. Tyreek Hill, save my season, please. Yes, Josh Allen, do not kill my season in one of my leagues. At least they're not getting the ball first. So, all right, here we go. Mostert's returning kicks, huh? Wow. They actually did a really nice job, too. So, Mostert is returning kicks. Didn't think I would see that. A guy with his checkered injury history as well. So, here comes Tua. All right. And Rich Eisen, by the way, he called a really good game in that Baltimore-Cleveland game. I thought he did a really nice job. So I'm going to be doing this live stream until probably halftime. So make sure you stick around for that. And then tomorrow, very busy day. Stream to wrap it up tomorrow. I am going to do that all day stream for the Fantasy Championship. So that's going to be a good one. Make sure you're there for that. And then once the season's over, I'm going to do wrap-up videos. Start looking ahead already to next season. There he goes. Nice run with Mostert. Yeah, so, there's going to be a lot of activity during the offseason. And like I said, NFL draft, I know you guys are all draft fans like I am. It's just a great event to watch. It really is. Love the draft. Can't get enough of the NFL draft. Wish there was more than 7 rounds. So, that's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm already well into the book. Finished my quarterbacks, other than the guys who haven't declared yet. Finished my receivers, finished my running backs. All right, so ball control early for Miami, running the ball in the first 2 plays here. And Mostert, listen, even going back to San Francisco, he's a tremendous runner. He really is. He's got explosion, home run speed, lot of skill with that guy. He can catch the football. He's legit. He just could never stay healthy. That's the problem. All right, so what is Miami going to do here? 2nd and 5. Are they going to screen to Tyreek Hill, get him involved? All right, this is a big first drive here. The Miami offense has struggled. All right, Waddle was in motion there. Oof. Oh, man, drop the football. Why would you catch that? All right, so incomplete. Yeah, you don't get why. I mean, why would you even try to catch that when you're behind the line of scrimmage like that? So, just a bad decision there. So, yeah, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, you're up now. Here we go, 3rd down. All right, remember, guys, keep posting your questions and your comments in the chat. Big day tomorrow. And for me, I had a lot of pressure trying to get in last week. I was on pins and needles, a lot of stress last week. Now that I'm in that one league that I barely made the playoffs, I feel like I'm just playing with house money now, so I'm not false start. Come on, man. Jesus Christ. You can't do that shit on the road. You just can't do that. Just, come on. Bill Vinovich, very good referee. Always like to see Bill Vinovich. I think he's one of the better referees in the game there. All right. So what do you guys say? You guys big NFL draft fans? Let me know. Because those videos are going to be posted daily once the fantasy football season is in the rearview mirror. I hope Bills take a lead because Tyreek Hill. Yeah, they're still going to throw it a lot, Miami. I wouldn't worry about that. A lot of motion, a lot of pre-snap motion. Oh, man, what was that? I mean, I was going for Waddle. Tua's been bad. There's no doubt about it. He's been all over the place lately. the guy that was an MVP candidate early on in the season just has not been there of late, over the last month. I'm enjoying the draft day. Yeah, the draft is a lot of fun, Casey. And like I said, I'm going to be doing. I'm going to make sure all of you guys know all of these players inside and out in the NFL draft. So by the time you watch it, it's going to be even more fun because you're going to know who the players are, what their skills are, and so on and so forth. And then you could use the search engine on the channel to look up players when the fantasy football season starts and things of that nature. Love the draft when they have a guest do the draft picks. Yes. Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm going to stream during the draft too, for sure. In the draft, it's always a lot of fun too with the trading up, trading down. The New England Patriots were the best at that. And Jimmy Johnson, who I just finished his book, great book, by the way, great Christmas present you could buy for yourself. He was all about trading down as well. And that's where Bill Belichick got it from. Bill Belichick would visit Johnson every offseason to pick his brain, sort of like his mentor. And the one thing Johnson told Belichick is always trade down if you can. Keep compiling draft picks because it's like the lottery, the NFL draft. The more tickets you have, the more likely you'll win, right? The better chance you have to win. Same thing with the draft. The more picks you have, the more likely you are to hit on a player. All right, a lot of flags already in this game. All right, so timeout already. Commercial timeout, I should say, and then the Bills will be on the field. Yeah, bring on the snow. I'm with you on that one, Jonas. Yeah, I was really looking forward to a snow game. I still think it's going to happen. Like I said, if you guys go to Buffalo right now on AccuWeather and you punch in, you'll see the squall that I'm talking about. It's a pretty significant squall that's just building to the west. Let me see. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it looks like it's coming. So let me see here. All right. Couldn't get a top 5 tight end. Yeah, the tight ends are going to be for tight ends in fantasy. It's either Kelsey next year, for certainly Kelsey, but he's going to be 35. So there's a little trepidation for me when it comes to drafting a tight end early. Devontae Smith or Bam Knight in the flex. That's a tough one. That is a very tough one. I would probably go Bam Knight. So I would do that for sure. I think Bam Knight's been really good. And here's the thing too. Breece Hall, is he going to begin the season on PUP? I mean, we don't know with his injury. Bam Knight's got a lot of potential value for sure. All right. Dolphins lose this game. You might as well say the playoff chances are almost over. I wouldn't say that. I mean, we have the expanded playoffs this year. I'm not sure about that. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think I think it's a little, that's a little rash. I mean, Miami hasn't played well at all. And listen, I'm a Giants fan. They have to win this game tomorrow night against Washington. They absolutely have to win it. And for Daniel Jones too, it's time to win in prime time. So Keenan Williams is not going to play tomorrow. Just got the alert now. He will, most likely not going to play. He's going to do the walkthrough and see how he feels. Yeah. So, we'll see. All right. Let's see. Let's get this show. So you think Josh Allen, they're going to come out firing or what? Are they going to try to establish the run? So there it is, guys. Oh, I see. All right. So when I said Buffalo on AccuWeather, I forgot that the stadium is not exactly in Buffalo. So while it's snowing in actual Buffalo, where the stadium is, what town is the stadium located in? All right. So Dawson Knox already with his first catch. That's good to see. He's been underutilized, Dawson Knox, for sure. Who were your first picks in fantasy? I went Justin Jefferson 4th overall in my team that's playing today, and I went Jonathan Taylor number 1 overall in the team that has a bye. Ended up picking Evan Ingram, drop him because of the bye week. Cole Kmet, who's his bye week now. I got Taysom Hill. Yeah, Evan Ingram, it's tough. Evan Ingram doesn't exactly from his New York Giants days, he wasn't that great. Orchard Park. Okay, that's right. I knew that. All right, let me look up. Orchard Park here. I don't know why I just couldn't remember that. So there's a Stephon Diggs sighting already. So we got Stephon Diggs and Dawson Knox involved. Packers must win, so Rodgers will go to Watson big time. Yes, I think so for sure. All right, Orchard Park. So Orchard Park, New York, they have a lake effect snow warning, and it says here snow starting in 21 minutes. So that's their minute cast. Snow starting in 21 minutes. Let me look at their radar. Oh man, Josh Allen. I have a feeling I'm going to get absolutely hosed tonight with this guy. Why'd you go Justin Jefferson over Cooper Kupp? I did that because that was a terrible pass. I went Jefferson over Cooper Kupp because Matthew Stafford had the elbow issue. That's why. And listen, on talent alone as well, Cooper Kupp, I think Justin Jefferson is more talented than Cooper Kupp, more naturally talented. All right, so you know what? We'll see with the snow. God, I can't believe it's just like a little bit north. That line. We'll see. I was really hoping for a snow game. Damn it. All right, no running plays yet. So I mean, listen, the way to beat Miami is to throw the football. Devin Singletary, is there not a more boring running back in all of football? Honestly, I was going JJ over Cooper Kupp to this year. Yeah, I was all on JJ for sure. Absolutely. All right, let's see. I was hoping to get some alerts. Usually Saturday night too, we get some alerts. Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport like to report ahead of time. Who's playing tomorrow, who's likely going to sit out, all that other stuff. So we might be getting that to come in soon too. All right, third down. Oh, all right, good. All right, incomplete. Sorry if you have Stephon Diggs. I need Josh Allen to get nothing tonight, so I'm good with that one. If Matthew Stafford retires, his Kupp's value drop sharply out of the first round for sure. You got to understand too, Matthew Stafford, even going back to the Calvin Johnson days, overly obsesses over his top wideout that he just constantly throws him to the point of ridiculousness. And that's why Kupp's numbers were so insane the last couple of seasons. I need Diggs to get nothing tonight. Yeah. Diggs, I'm trying to think. I think in both of my leagues, the Diggs owner has been eliminated. Yes, in both of my leagues, the Diggs owner has been eliminated, which is crazy. But that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, Cooper Kupp probably drops to late second round if Stafford retires. And I do think he's gonna. I think there's a very good chance he retires. He's got 4 little kids. He 2 concussions in the span of 3 weeks. That's very serious stuff. And his wife is very upset about that. I think there's a very good chance. There's nothing left for him to achieve. You know what I mean? I need Tyreek Hill with 3 touchdowns and 100. Well, he's not going to get 3 touchdowns, but 100 yards, certainly possible. Jared Goff, favorite target to Cooper Kupp. Yeah, listen. And here's the thing, too. I remember when that trade was made, I thought the Lions were just complete morons. And I'm like, oh, my God, they're taking back Jared Goff, too. But Goff's been pretty freaking good. 20 touchdowns at home. Only 2 on the road. That's the thing with Goff. He doesn't play well on the road. He needs ample protection to succeed, but he's gotten that this season. The Detroit offensive line has been phenomenal this season, and that has allowed – they're one of the best offensive lines in football. That has allowed, Goff to be able to sling it all over the field, So, and the Lions have said, they're going to bring him back, and they're going to they might even extend him. Dan Campbell, the head coach, really likes Jared Goff. So, I think that that trade has really worked out for them. So now, as far as the second Miami drive, I think they're going to do some play action here and throw it down the field to either Waddle or Hill. They got to soften up this Buffalo defense. That's what I would do. Granted, I'm only a high school coach, but the short game isn't working right now. I think they're going to try to soften up this Buffalo defense and go play action here, or just simply take a shot down the field without play action. So that's what I'm calling for now. They're in the right spot for it. Does Devontae Adams really drop if a Carr either goes to being a backup to a rookie director or cut Carr and bringing it? I think Devontae Adams is quarterback proof. He's already proven it. Leaving Green Bay, the thought was, okay, his number's going to drop a little bit. He's not going to be as good, but he's been every bit as good as he's always been, maybe even better. Like, his numbers this year are just stupid. And that's with defenses knowing what's coming. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me how guys like that every week go off when the defense knows what's coming. All right, let's go, Tua. Come on, get your shit together here. Come on. Let's get Waddle open. I don't have Waddle or Hill. And honestly, truth be told, I shied away from this Miami offense with Tua. I'll be the first to admit it. I just didn't think he'd be able to stay healthy for one. And they're going to run it again. They're running the ball well, but I think they need to try to soften up this defense down the field too. They got to get Hill and Waddle going. Adams said, no, he never does drop passes, Casey. Oh, excuse me, guys. Long day. It was at a Christmas party, family Christmas party today. I had to dip out and do that Jonathan Taylor video because that was important. I did not get in trouble with the wife for doing that, so that was good. It is my in-laws' family party, so had to, kind of tread carefully there, but I managed to do it. Mostert, again, just slightly short of the first down. So it looks like they're doing ball control, Miami. They want to keep the Buffalo offense off the field as much as possible. That's why all these runs early on. And Mostert looks good. So 3rd-and-1 here. Do you just simply run it again? Would you drop Brandon Cooks for Jameson Williams? Oh, absolutely. I don't think Cooks is playing the rest of the season. He's checked out mentally. Adams doesn't make the annual proof, unfortunately. Yeah, but his numbers have been great this season. They really are, even with McDaniels there as the coach. Why are the Packers so stubborn not drafting wide receivers? Well, they got Christian Watson. Wow, they gave it to the fullback, and he got the first down. They got Christian Watson. That's working out pretty good. Trading for a receiver. I don't know. All those receivers that were traded, certainly with Aaron Rodgers probably playing only at least one season or two more at tops, you want to get him as much help as you can. To give it to the fullback there, it's crazy. So Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle do not have a single catch. Oh, God, again with this guy. Come on, man. Is that the second time on that guy? Is that the same guy as before? Unbelievable. Yeah, they got to air it out. But let me tell you something. The Miami coach, love him. He's a cool dude. You see all the videos, the viral video that went viral last week when he said he fucked up and he took ownership. Whoever, he was talking to Tua about a busted play. He's strolling around, dancing in practice. I think he knows what he's doing. Comes from the Kyle Shanahan tree. What was that? I guess Raheem Mostert is going to get 8,000 touches. Damn. Boy, he looks spry. He absolutely looks spry. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, they're not throwing the football here. I don't know why. It's Jonas is right. This is old school power football. Using the fullback and using Mostert. I really wasn't big on Mostert in this game, but he looks great. He's so fast. He really is. And it's funny. He's an older back, but he's barely touched the football the last 3 years. So I think he's got a lot of juice left in his legs. He dropped him for Dobbins. Oh, man. All right. And they throw to Wilson. Man, if you're a Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle owner right now, I don't know what is going on. All these fakes too. Buffalo is not falling for it. They're not falling for these fakes. So I just don't understand why It's just ridiculous. All right, let's go. Where's Tyreek Hill? Where's Jalen Waddle? All right, I consider starting Mostert, but now I have to choose between B. Rob and Rashad. That's not a bad choice, though. There you go. There's Waddle. Thank God. I know I told people to start Waddle, so that's good. Um, Ricky, that is not a bad option. B. Rob is going to be great tomorrow against the Giants. He really is. Rashad, I'm a little less positive about because of Leonard Fournette. And I messed up with Fournette. I drafted him in both of my leagues. He was 27 before the season started. That's the danger zone age. Next season, don't look at any running back 27 or older. Look at Kamara. Look at Mixon outside of the 5-touchdown game. I know I say it every stream, but it's true. You know, it's just they're not when they get to that age, they just either fade when the season gets, is over, and then there's Tyreek Hill. All right, we got Tyreek Hill going. When the season gets late, they fade or they deal with injuries, and they simply lose a step. That's it. So, all right, so Waddle and Hill. You know what? This is a nice looking drive right now. They got Buffalo's defense a little bit off balance. They have to respect Mostert now. So I guess all those run plays early on has opened things up for Tua and Tyreek Hill. But Kamara could get suspended, right? Next season, Kamara suspended. But Casey, my point was, I'm not drafting Kamara because he's 27 next season. So, and that goes without even mentioning the fact that he's going to get suspended. I'm not drafting Mixon. I'm not drafting Kamara. I'm not drafting Dalvin Cook. I'm not drafting Derrick Henry. I'm not drafting Christian McCaffrey, I don't think. He's going to be 27. McCaffrey's so good, I might just make an exception. Actually, no, I'm not going to make an exception because he's going to go in the first round, so I'm not drafting McCaffrey. I told you guys the guys I'm going to draft. Ramondre Stevenson, Brian Robinson, Bijan Robinson. Those three guys in particular I'm really going to be in on. JT asking early was suspicious. He looked fine. Yeah, Adam Schefter said it wasn't a big deal. Let me look at the running backs again to tell you the backs I'm going to be in on. 3rd and 5. Oh, man, he was short of the sticks. Come on. Tyreek, bad job. He was short of the sticks. They're going to go for it. All right. Let me see here. Taking players. Let me look at the running backs. All right. Austin Eckler, I'm not going to do either next season. Brees Hall looks so good. Yeah, I do like Brees Hall a lot. Who would you draft? Would you draft Robinson? Who do you think you're going to draft Robinson? Oh, Bijan Robinson. Somebody said the Eagles, Miami. Those are certainly options there. All right, the running backs I'm drafting next season. McCaffrey, no. Eckler, no. Jacobs, no, because he's going to go in the first round. Henry, no, because of his age. Saquon Barkley is going to go in the first round, no. Nick Chubb, no. He doesn't catch passes. Tony Pollard, yes. If he goes to the second round, he's mine. Aaron Jones is going to be 27. So, if he's not 27 now, I love Aaron Jones. You guys know I love Aaron Jones. I'm a little leery about him. Ramondre Stevenson, yes. Miles Sanders, probably not. Joe Mixon, no. Dalvin Cook, no. Leonard Fournette, hell no. Jamal Williams, no. Damian Pierce, yes. Kenneth Walker, yes. Alvin Kamara, no. Najee Harris, hell no. Antonio Gibson, depending where he ends up. Travis Etienne, yes. I think he's going to have a big comeback season. As Elliott, no. Singletary, no. Taylor, no. Connor, no. Montgomery, no. Rashad White, yes. Those are the backs that I like. Pollard, 100%. Yes, ETN, definitely. He's going to be refreshed next season, Casey. Yes, Ricky. Those are the guys I love. First down. This is a great drive. Great drive by Miami. They're eating up a lot of clock, too. Yeah, Casey, ETN is a really good player. I think he's just hitting the wall. Don't forget, he did not play last season. And now this is a long season. His legs are screaming for oxygen next season, and they're going to use him more in the passing game. He was a fantastic receiver at Clemson. They haven't been using him much in the passing game, which I think is a major error for them. They're going to remedy that for next season. Brees Hall, depending where the medicals come in, if he drops to the second round, I would take him for sure. But Ramondre Stevenson, Brian Robinson, those are the two big ones. Mostert looks really good tonight. Lots of bets on JT. I can't help but wonder if it was I can't go there, DH. I can't go there with the betting and stuff. You would like to think that that's not possible, but it did look a little suspicious, especially with Adam Schefter saying afterward that he's fine. Not fine, but it's not a serious injury. So Miami is really dominating time of possession. This is what they wanted to do. Breece Hall looked like prime Marshall Faulk. He did. Marshall Faulk might be a little strong, but he looked like he looked like Dalvin Cook back when Dalvin Cook was catching passes. That's who he reminded me of. But Jonathan Taylor, and here's the thing too with Jonathan Taylor, a lot of people don't realize he was a bell cow back at Wisconsin every year he was there. He was so heavily used at Wisconsin, it was almost criminal. And I said, and I even wrote it in my draft guide that year, Jonathan Taylor is likely going to have a shorter career because of the usage in college. The injuries this season, coming off an insane workload last year, certainly there's a correlation. Thinking ETN could step up next season, big tip. Yes, Ricky, 100%. I'm totally in on ETN. Oh, he had him. He had him for a second. Oh, man, throw the ball. What was that? 0 targets for ETN last game. What do they think? I don't know. I mean, this guy is so explosive in space. I don't understand why they're not throwing him. And Trevor Lawrence had 4 touchdowns. Boy, this could have been a disaster right here. He had him. I told you he had him. He didn't see Tyreek Hill. And he throws it back. Like, how stupid was that, though? Tua does some dumb shit sometimes. All right, so the whole first quarter here. All right, so 3-0. The whole first quarter pretty much is, finished as Miami has had the ball pretty much the entire time. So, yeah, so Brian Robinson, ETN, Ramondre Stevenson. I'm going to take one of those 3 guys in the second round. And here's the thing, too, with Brian Robinson. He catches the football really well. Hasn't been used that much this season on that front, but he's very capable. And he did it at Alabama. He can do it going forward. I don't think Antonio Gibson's going to be back with them next season. Yes, he did have him open for a touchdown, Death Lord. I'd be very frustrated if I were you. I picked JT his first season with Colts. He didn't do so well this year is because of the injuries, but last year he was incredible. There's no doubt about it. But a lot of times when a running back gets the type of insane workload that Taylor got last season, they bounce the following season. Bounce meaning they get hurt, the numbers go down, the average per carry goes down, and that's what we're seeing right now, I think, with Jonathan Taylor. All right, how many fantasy points right now does Josh Allen have right now? So he hasn't run the football, right? So Josh Allen right now has 1.04 points. All right, so now up to date, I have a 49% chance to win. All right. It's getting better. Yes. Excellent statement, Del J. CMC Truthers taking a victory lap. 100%. I can't argue with it. I chickened out. I had the chance to take Christian McCaffrey number 1 overall. I went Taylor, and what a shit decision that was. And I could have had a league-winning team, even though I got the bye in this particular league, finished 10-3, or 10-4, excuse me. I lost my last 2 games to finish the season. That team could have been so much stronger. And now next week, I have to put in Zonovan Knight instead of Jonathan Taylor. So using Tyreek Hill and jet sweeps, please. If you're going to run the ball, at least go. Yeah, I agree. Jet sweeps would be good. So next week, on my 10-4 team that has a bye, if Lamar Jackson comes back, I could use him against Atlanta. That would be a great return game for him. I also have Justin Fields who plays Buffalo, which not too keen on that one. Now, my receivers are Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, and Chris Godwin. Those are all wide receiver 2s, in my opinion. I have Ramondre Stevenson, who hopefully next week will be better. Travis Kelce. I have Leonard Fournette. So I don't think that team is as strong as it could, as as it certainly could have been with Taylor and certainly with McCaffrey. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I should have picked up CMC over Taylor. I was going to pick up Beckler over CMC. Yeah, hindsight's 2020, right, Casey? With T Higgins tomorrow. You got to play T Higgins, Ricky. You have to. I think he'll be all right. I think he's going to be. He practiced this week. I think he's going to be all right. You're not drafting Derrick Henry at 29 years old next year. I'm just mad because Mike McDaniels needs to realize he has the fastest guy in football. Yes, he has the best game breaker in football, 100%. Tell you what, so far the Miami defense is doing the job. Devin Singletary, he's a nice player, but they're not even using Cook at all so far. James Cook, see what you got here, It's just frustrating, just like with Kyron Williams with the Rams, and they keep using Cam Akers. See what you got out of the kid. So that's what I would do. All right, first quarter almost over. They're going to throw it here. Yep. Oh, damn. Knox. God. Oh, man. I don't need a Josh Allen touchdown right now. I just don't need that. I don't need a Josh Allen touchdown. So right now he's got 2.8 points. All right, let's see. Dawson Knox has got 7.6. Let's see. They found something there with Dawson Knox, it looks like, and down the seam there. Who's your opponent have? Which one? The one I'm playing now? Singletary out of the backfield. So Jonas, which league? The one that I had Jonathan Taylor in, or the league that I'm playing this week? Rashad Bateman was so good in college, maybe a sleeper. Yeah, I don't like they don't throw it enough in Baltimore, unfortunately. The one with Allen. So right now, the one I'm playing against Allen. Let me go to that league. Let me pull that up. Rooting against Diggs. Yeah. So my quarterback is Justin Fields. His is Josh Allen. Fuck me. Here we go. Well, there it is. Unbelievable. Quentin Moore. So Quentin Morris, guys, scores the first touchdown for Buffalo. Not Stephon Diggs. Not Gabe Davis. Look at all the snowballs. Not Dawson Knox. Damn, guys, I'm going to get my ass beat in this league. All right, so to answer Jonas's question, he has Josh Allen, who now has almost 10 points. Fuck. I have Justin Fields. Advantage him. His receivers are Christian Kirk, Marquise Brown, and DJ Moore. I have CeeDee Lamb, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Watson. Advantage me. Running back, he's got Najee Harris and Joe Mixon. I have Tony Pollard and Aaron Jones. I think it's close. His tight end is George Kittle, 25 points. I got Dalton Schultz. His flex was J.K. Dobbins, 13 points. I have Rachaad White. So the problem is I have the better team, and I killed them last week, the same exact team, but all of his guys are balling out. He's got 2 touchdowns from Kittle. He's got 1 from Allen. God damn it. Yeah, man, this sucks. I don't want to fall so far behind that it's going to be impossible for me to catch up. And this is a league that I snuck into the playoffs. So I'm 7. What was I? I think I was 8-5 or 8-6, right? 14 weeks. Yeah, 8-6. So, I'm playing with house money, but this is a work league. So, I want to kind of give it to some of my my coworkers there. But you know what? You can't stop Josh Allen ever. Yeah, it's brutal playing Josh Allen. It really is. It really is brutal going up against Josh Allen because he's just going to go for 30 points like any given time. and he's so good. And, coming out of Wyoming, he had some major accuracy problems. And, um, he's gotten so much better with the accuracy. He's the rare quarterback to do that. Week 16 in my league. Yeah, he is matchup proof, Death Lord. So, Casey, what do you have? 14 playoff? Please don't tell me you have a week 18 championship. I think 14 playoffs is too little. In a 12-team league, you got to do 6, at least 6. Even if you want to do 8, so what? It makes it more fun, Um, I don't think there should be more than 3 weeks of fantasy playoffs because there's a lot of luck involved in fantasy football. And the best team you want to have, at least a decent chance to get rewarded. Oh, week 18, get out of here. Seriously? Oh man, Casey, you got to get that. You got to get your league mates to change that for next year. You can't have week 18. There's a lot of guys that are going to be sitting out. Like, for instance, whoever owns Jalen Hurts, he's not going to play against the Giants that last week. They have nothing to play for. Pittman for Watson and Terrified. I don't know. I don't think he should be. Pittman had 19 points. It wasn't bad. Josh Allen look like me. I'm better than Jalen Hurts and Pat Mahomes. Yeah, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. I owe Jalen. Oh man, that sucks, Casey. You better have a backup lined up now because he's not playing. He's not playing that last game. That's why you don't have a championship week 18 because nobody's going to be, if the team like the Eagles, they have nothing to play for. There's no reason for them to keep trotting him out there and potentially getting him hurt. I'm going QB early. Yeah, listen, if this year hasn't shown you all to abandon the wait for quarterback philosophy, and believe me, I was part of that for the longest time. Every year I was drafting, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, and it worked for me. But now with the dual threat quarterbacks putting up insane points every week, you have to have one of those guys. Have you ever played a 2-legged playoff match for fantasy? What does that mean, I don't understand what that means. Is that where you play everybody in the league and then you also play your opponent? Look at this run. Holy smokes. He's still going. Oh, my God. Did they pull the face mask, too? Wow. Now, that might be one of the best runs of the season right there. Damn, Raheem Mostert. How many yards does he have already? That was a hell of a run. That was just a tremendous run. Yeah, and it's going to be half the distance. Oh, horse collar, right? That is a great run. Unbelievable. Raheem Mostert's going ballistic. So what's he got, 100 yards already? Unbelievable. Raheem Mostert, 68 yards, my guys. Yeah, he really was. Absolutely shot out of a cannon. Look at all the snowballs in the end zone. All right, so nothing there. I think Tyreek Hill now, you can get him a screen pass. All right, is that the last play of the quarter, or are they going to get one more in here? I think that's going to be it for the quarter. All right, they're going to run out the clock here. All right, so it looks like they're going to run out the clock here, go to the second quarter. So, listen, Miami's doing the job so far. They really are. And they're keeping Buffalo off the field. Their secondary is just so bad, Miami. 2-legged playoff match when you play the same playoff team 2 weeks in a row in a higher that's interesting. No, I've never done that. That is interesting. I think somebody mentioned that last season. It does lessen the fluke nature of fantasy football, especially in the ultimate game. So I actually like that idea. Somebody briefly mentioned that to me in the playoffs last year, and I didn't think about that. Didn't remember that this year. I really like that. But you'd have to end the season a week early. So but you'd go back to the 13 weeks of the regular season like you did before the expanded schedule. And then, I think, yeah, that could work. I do like that idea. That's very intriguing. Are you staying till halftime? Probably not. That this first half is taking a little longer than I thought. So I'm probably gonna pop out soon. I'm gonna see what Miami does here on this first play here in the second quarter, and then I'm probably gonna jump out. But maybe double stream tomorrow in the morning when the injury report comes out, and then and get some last minute start and sit questions, and then certainly tomorrow night for the wrap up show. I'm definitely going to do that as well. So it'll be a very busy day for sure. As you guys can see, I keep yawning. I apologize. It's been a long day. Tyreek Hill, yeah, I know you need him for sure. Now would be a perfect time to use that a jet sweep or a screen for Tyreek Hill, and I think they're going to call that. I don't think they're going to run Mostert again. He certainly deserves the opportunity the way he's been running the football, but I think they're going to get a little bit more creative here on this next play. I can't believe Josh Allen already has a touchdown pass, though. Damn it. That sucks. I was really trying to hold him off as long as possible. You know what I mean? But so that Jonathan Taylor video I put out when he first got hurt has almost 2,000 views in just a few hours. So there was a lot of, Jonathan Taylor frustration being voiced in the comment section. So some of it very colorful. But I mean, that's frustrating. And that's why I guess too, what Bon was saying to have a 2-week final, because when let's say it was a finals, Jonathan Taylor got hurt during the finals. Then, that would minimize that at least in the championship game. Cause it is kind of would sucky if your prime guy gets hurt at the beginning of the championship game and you wind up losing just because of that one player. I really do like that idea, Bon. Thank you for mentioning that. I'm going to have to strongly consider that next season. All right, single in the back. There it is. Oh, there it was. And they're throwing snowballs into the end zone. You see, that shit can't happen. They're throwing snowball. That can't happen. Are they throwing snowballs while he's running the route? Wow. Yeah, you can't do that. What are they going to do about this? Oh, he should have caught it. I have kickers in leagues. Who's your defense? I don't use kickers, and my defense is Dallas, and I have Kansas City stashed. Look at this. They're throwing snowballs. I mean, touchdown. Oh, he dropped it. Come on, man. Yeah, they're going for it. No, they're going to kick the field goal. Guys, they're throwing snowballs into the end zone. This is something we're going to have to watch here because that's messed up. Look at that. Unbelievable. You can't blame Tua for that one. That's ridiculous. All right, so they're going to kick the field goal here. All right, guys, I think I'm going to jump out of this one, the stream. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm pretty shot. Enjoy the rest of the game. Make sure you pop in tomorrow morning to see if I do a stream. Definitely going to do some videos. Weather report video will be going out first thing tomorrow. So make sure you check in for that. Great stream tonight, guys. Thank you for joining. Thanks for all the super chat. I really appreciate the support. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.